great morning.
What in the what?
MJ didn't know about the intro upgrade. Sometimes, you just got to pop out and show them.
Wow. I'm reeling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So.
I'm here for that.
Picture this.
Sicily. Oh.
Sunday night, Alberta Street Pub. The Love Train Band is doing what they do.
Yes.
Accompanied by DJ Cliff.
Yes.
X-Ray Zone. He does the intro set. He does the break set. There's a closing set at the end of the night. He played this during one of the break sets. And I said, excuse me, sir. That is the song that we use on News My Fiancé. And that is a fantastic remix. Time to update the intro. Boom.
Speechless. I am a big fan. I didn't understand what was happening. I thought two songs were playing at once. I thought you hit a button or something on accident just at the very beginning. I was like, wait, that's not how it starts. What's going on? I
really missed a moment there. I should have recorded your reaction to it. I should have just stuck the phone out and been like, Yeah.
Wow. What a way to start the morning. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, you guys.
How y'all doing out there? Did you enjoy the new intro?
Bob said, good morning, fiancés.
Good morning. Bob, how are you?
Yeah.
It's a pretty lovely day out there already.
Already. Yeah.
Doing okay today.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was getting a migraine last night. I think I might have been, but I
crisis averted.
Persevered, as they say.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
That's the type of news I could use.
Yeah. And I think maybe I got the migraine because of Daredevil, but then lost it because of Frank Castle.
I love it.
Yeah. Frank didn't mess around. He's not here to play patty cake.
Someone said, just waking up. We still talking dodos today? I mean...
We are not!
Oh. MJ said we can't talk dodos today. So.
The fact that y'all want to eat dodo nuggets is
dodo
wild.
Nuggies. It's not wild.
It is!
It's going to be a denser meat.
What are we doing?
All right. I feel like, I litigated this last time.
You did. We don't need to do it more. We do not need to do Jurassic Park just for nuggets that are going to get put in Winco's freezer. You know what I'm saying?
At least there will be, properly priced because it will be Winco. So I messes with you on that.
Got to stick with what I know.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Y'all, we're in the final stretch of the fund drive.
We are.
And we're going to talk all about that in a bit. We're going to give you the opportunity to take this moment, or any of these moments. Hit xray.fm.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the donate button.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that peer-to-peer. If you're like, I can't find the peer-to-peer. I don't know where you guys are. Hit the donate button and just tell them that we sent you. Put a little I'm a fiancé or something in the note line.
Yeah. And if you go to the peer-to-peer page and don't see us, you can actually search for our page by just typing in news, and then we'll pop up that way. People that did give last week, those totals just haven't been added to our page yet. But it's there. It's there. Your donation has been noted, to be clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Sorry, I just got distracted.
What did I do? Was it just my boyish looks?
Charm, actually.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. I'll turn it down. I don't want to keep distracted. Yeah. So, fellas, sometimes you got to turn the charm down. I don't know. I've been known
and
to be
it's
distracted.
like you're turning it up. Okay. Wow.
All right.
It's the opposite. So I woke up this morning and replayed one of, the internet's good clips of 418-year-old vampire Chuck Grassley getting yelled at by his constituents. And I'm not going to say yelled at because the clips that I've seen, it's not really yelling. It's people literally being very reasonable and saying, could you maybe stop using the word entitlement when this is not something that we get simply because we exist?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I guess that's that could be a thing. That's like feedback I could believe in, I guess. I don't know. And he's a vampire, so it doesn't actually matter. Like he does. Yes. Part of the Vampiric Council, I'm sure.
Yes.
Maybe started it.
Vampire.
It doesn't matter what anybody says to him because he's not of humankind, I think. I think it doesn't matter. It's like... But it is good to see that people that normally are... if you...
minding their own business.
Fam, how is he still getting voted for? Like, I think of it in these ways. That person has been a part of our government for, I think longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much like Joe Byron.
Yeah. It's wild.
He continues to get voted for, and he continues to do nothing but harm the people in the area in which he serves. So for, those people that normally just vote for that guy or don't show up to vote, maybe, I guess, I don't know. For them to be like, hey, man, I've had it. And it's things that they're normally not coming out to talk about.
Right.
I do see the value in that. Happy Jerk Dodo. Happy Jerk Dodo Day, fiancés.
Thank you, P-Town.
P-Town. Had to bring it right back, didn't you? Isn't it? I forgot about the jerk.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Back to it.
I wonder what happens. Because, again, this is Chuck Grassley. When is his term up? Like, how does this even work?
I believe I started with he is a vampire, and none of the rules actually apply.
Right. Like,
I think, didn't he? No, let me not make. For some reason, I think he's like not. He's already said he's not.
Not going to run again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Can barely stand up at the podium. But what happens when that discontent turns into like full protests and riots where these people are showing up to talk to their constituents? Like, do you think that would have like an impact? Like if this were to get like, okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene had some public facing event, I believe it was earlier this week. And it was the same response. Like people were standing up, yelling at her. She had to call security on folk. And it was interesting because people were like, when she does it, no one calls security on her.
Oh.
But here it is. You can't take people yelling at you while you're at the podium. But so you have someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene who like, that stuff feeds her. She pulls energy from that. I don't want to say it keeps her young, but she feeds off of it. When you have these older legislators that aren't used to that type of confrontation and interaction, I'm curious as if it would even, move the needle a little bit. Like have them feeling so uncomfortable to the point where it's like, hey man, this used to be a sweet gig for me. This is like, I could dip out for a couple of weeks, maybe even months and be at a memory care facility and no one knew.
Fam.
And now you got people who I used to play golf with 20 years ago when we both could walk the green. You got them yelling at me in my hometown. What? Come on, man. I'm curious. I don't know.
Okay.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well, Senator Chuck Grassley is 91 years old.
Oh, sweet.
And his term is over in 2029?
What?
Wait.
No.
Let me make sure.
No. Come on, man.
His current term is set to conclude in January 2029.
Nah.
Now, again, sometimes age ain't nothing but a number.
Sometimes. Oh my God.
And clearly, Mans is able to get up and get to work.
Right. Holy smokes, bro.
What are we doing? 91 and you are still at work?
No, this is foolishness. This is
you can't mean it. You can't honestly think that you're being helpful or doing it. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the way at home. He's in the way when he's playing with his grandkids. He's in the way. His grandkids are old, so I guess, they have to be.
Yeah.
His great-grands.
Man,
he's in the way when he's at work. Yeah. Like,
his great-grands got to be gentle with him.
Shouldn't he be on a porch swing in Iowa?
Absolutely.
Looking at a field of something?
This is elder abuse.
It is absolutely elder abuse.
Bob said, apparently, we're going to take away everything you've worked for all your life and give it to a few billionaires. It's a bit of a hard sell for these MAGAs.
Good morning, Michelle. Michelle said, good, harass your local public official morning.
Hey.
I am very ready for a lot more people realizing that political pressure doesn't begin and end at the ballot box. Yes. The people are responsible for representing us now. Make them. Yes.
Yeah.
Every single piece of that. And it does work. Just like boycotts work.
Boom.
We are very much primed for wanting, needing, craving immediate gratification and immediate outcomes, like that. We want to see it right now.
Yeah.
Change does not happen like that. And a lot of things take a lot of it is a slow burn.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we really got to recognize, and I will say that, like, I appreciate Portland's at least attention span when it comes to certain issues locally. We certainly seem to pay a little bit more attention than some other places. This is no shade. I'm just saying.
No, facts.
Where was I going, though? What was my point? My point was, we know it works. Right. We know that showing up, disrupting someone's night, disrupting someone's date, disrupting the just them at work line.
Boom.
Incredibly helpful. You don't see it immediately. The immediate is going to be some performative thing, that is like a weird apology that isn't an apology, or a deflection. I'm just trying to eat my dinner. Like,
right.
But the more that they have to be held accountable for things that they're saying, things that they're not saying, things that they're not doing, the more they have to explain to you why they aren't resisting, why they aren't standing up for people. The more they have to do that, the less they want to. So they're either going to work towards this is a thing that isn't that important to me or my career, so let me go ahead and either handle that scandal, Or, don't get me wrong, they can definitely go the other way and say,
get out of there?
No. No, I don't think that
you won't be so lucky.
We don't see people quit the jobs they're not qualified for enough. We don't see that enough. You have Trump talking about we're going to do self-deportations. We can't get people to deport themselves out of the positions that they are not qualified for within our own government. We can't get those people to step down and say, I am 91 years old. Wait a minute. How'd I find myself putting a full 3-piece suit on today?
Lord have mercy.
Man's is just running off of muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? He's just legitimately running off of muscle memory.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, it does work. They don't want to deal with that. And many of them just need to know that their constituents are not going to run.
Yeah.
They're not going to run on them. And by that, I mean, abandon them if they start doing certain things. Yeah. What they need to know is what you will dip for. If you are unwilling to do X, Y, Z, we will not vote for you. We will primary you.
Right.
They need to understand that they are not safe in a position unless they are working for the people that they represent.
What did Elon pour the $25 million into and lost?
Yeah.
With that judge? It was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. I am a money moves all things type of guy. I am a pessimist in the way of, cool, yeah, go rally, but money will stomp you out. Okay. Look at this. Ambush corrected. When people really want to unify enough, they can make some things happen. I am just like, there's always someone willing to sell it out. But
and there is.
Yeah. And I'm glad that happened. I'm very, very glad that happened. This is what we need more of, though. Because, Chuck Grassley, dude, you should be upset that your term isn't over until 2028.
Bruh.
You should be like, I still got to keep doing this?
Well, more than anything, I'm like, what agenda of yours haven't you got done yet?
I feel like
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if you haven't,
is it maybe
chalk it?
Yeah.
Chalk it, bro.
Is it maybe leave it for the next gen?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I got a great analogy from Mr. Bobby that said, we're all trying to lead our horse to water and get it to drink. That's everyone's journey with, trying to make things happen. But maybe you're not the one that's meant to get the horse to drink. Maybe you're just the one that's meant to lead the horse to water, and you go get another horse and keep getting more horses.
Go get more horses,
and
baby.
Someone else is meant to get the horse to drink. Chuck, whatever you didn't get done by now,
gotta leave it to the next gen.
Pass the buck.
Yeah.
Pass the buck. It is amazing how often they keep talking about the importance of our children and being the future, and we care about the kids, but y'all won't pass them anything. You will not.
Except for the wealth they hoarded.
Yeah, sure.
They'll give them that.
Where are the successors? Where are the people that you're grooming in the good way to follow in your footsteps, to take up the charge?
I challenge you that there is no good way to follow in the footsteps of Chuck Grassley.
Yes. Okay.
But I hear your point.
Yeah.
I just
pass the Dutch, bro.
I just got to be very clear. There's nothing good about that. What just happened?
I said pass the Dutch, bro, and then Dutch bros popped in my head.
Double Aunt Andre.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Speaking of doubling things, it would appear as that we have a double match running today.
A double match?
A double match.
Double match, double match, double match.
Yes.
Breaking news.
We have a double match this morning for $500. That means we'll get, is this 3 times?
3 times any money donated during our show.
Hello.
Until we raise $500.
Wowzers.
Okay, this is it. Okay. Now normally I'll get on here and be like, or Ambush will say, our goal is $1 million today.
Right.
And I'll be like, Ambush, please cut it down. It's 25,000.
Right.
Right. For real, your fiance's actual goal is $1,000.
It's true.
I think we're around 350.
Yeah, we are.
That we have raised.
It's true.
We need. I mean, okay. I was about to do a little too much. Sorry. Sorry for the pause. I was about to do a little too much and say we need $1,500 coming in right this second. But really,
yeah, we could. I think we could do another 5. Because here's the thing: if you donate 20, boom, $60.
Yeah,
amazifying. Yeah,
let's freaking go!
Pretty sweet. Rudo popped up.
Our number one donor. How is he this morning? Is he doing okay?
He says, "Good morning, fam. I need to see the great old film, Mr. Eric Brooks Goes to Washington."
I did not.
I did. Yes, you did. That P-Town joined the Patreon?
Oh, I thought that was Bruto.
Oh.
Yes, thank you, P-Town.
Yes, we shouted. You got a shout out on Monday night's episode.
Yeah.
Yes, and you'll be in the credits when that airs on the YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't see because it came. I read one and then I just assumed it was the
Bruto.
Yeah, It was like, nah, I'm not buying that. I didn't see that. P-Town said that Bella will be 3 tomorrow.
Oh my gosh!
Happy birthday, Bella! Beautiful Bella.
Face.
I guess I just said beautiful, huh? Such a gorgeous doggy.
Because I just said beautiful.
Beautiful.
You did.
I don't even know where to move from here on, because again, so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You did hit me with a little surprise news yesterday. That whole Joanne fabric situation. Wow, man. Wow.
Okay, fiancés, have you followed what's happening with Joanne Fabrics at all? I think it was Perfect Union did a really solid piece about how basically Joanne's Fabric was doing great. Employing over 19,000 people.
Yep.
I don't remember how many locations, but
I don't remember either.
I don't remember the number, so I don't want to report any fake news. Many locations around the country. They were purchased for $1.6 billion by a venture capitalist firm or whatnot. They were not in the company was not in debt. 19,000 employees, multiple locations, company is not in debt. This firm comes in, says, we'll buy you for $1.6 billion. They don't actually, what I learned is that sometimes when you buy a business, you can just borrow the money from the business to buy it.
Wild.
Which is, I think, like the way that, what's his name? The man with 18 faces, Elon Musk. I think that's how he purchases everything. But I don't know why. It just hit me so much clearer in this example of this is a company that was not in debt. It gets purchased for this large amount of money that they, appears that it would be helpful. They immediately go from being a publicly owned company to a private company, and then they put the company back as a publicly owned company, and the stock tanked, or it was really low when it was reintroduced. And then they immediately filed for bankruptcy, stating $1 billion in debt. So they borrowed the money from the company to buy the company. They ruined the company. They are now claiming bankruptcy for the purchase price, basically. For the purchase price debt price. 19,000 people will lose their jobs. 80 locations are closing. And that's what's left. I don't know how many they had before this firm came in and bought them. It's such a intense form of manipulation of not just the market, but also completely disregarding the amount of people that are now going to have to re-enter the workforce in a different capacity, maybe.
Right.
For all of the people that shop at Joanne Fabrics, and so we were talking about, like, what is the point of doing that? Is this a reducing competition thing? Is this trying to get local stores closed or in-person things so that you force people to shop on Amazon? Or is this some way so Hobby Lobby gets $1? Like, what are we doing here? Y'all tell me what you think. Because Well, what I know is that, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What I know for certain is Joanne Fabrics played quite the role. Shout out to the previous location that was in Hollywood over here. Played a real critical role in me learning how to do a lot of things. A lot of things. The women that are in there are, like, my experience was so helpful. Really tried to help you out with all the things that you needed. I also really appreciated Fabric Depot that was on 122nd.
Never even heard of such a thing. Michael's, yeah, but never a Fabric Depot. Michael's and Joanne's, definitely. And I know this isn't about me, but you mentioned...
Oh, but isn't it?
I blushed. And I know you just recently mentioned, like, the type of help that you would get in Joanne Fabrics, right? And this, honestly, we're always talking about customer service. We're always talking about people that are happy to work the jobs that they work. And does everyone need to go to college? Does everyone need to have, I'm flipping houses or whatever? Like, you were able to go into Joanne Fabrics knowing, because you educated me yesterday too, you could get your sewing machine fixed in there.
Yeah.
But you were able to go into Joanne Fabrics. This is a company that has been successful, no debt. Employees are relatively happy, at least, because when you got in there, you were helped. It didn't feel like people were rushing you around and didn't have time for you. Like, and I remember being in, I guess it was Michael's. I don't think I've ever been to Joanne Fabrics with you. And there's something just about the vibe in those stores that makes you also want to be part of the help. I would quite often help Morgan with her purchases. She'd find things in her cart that maybe she didn't put in there, things she didn't know she needed. But there I was, in those moments, helping. You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 91.1 and 107.1 FM. And in Nehalem, Wheeler, Manzanita, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM. Streaming online everywhere at
He's lying.
.fm. I'm not lying. Oops. We are streaming online everywhere.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Liar.
Back to my earlier point.
He's also not lying about that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But they weren't good things.
They were great things.
No. You did not help. You put things in my cart that weren't supposed to be there, that I didn't want to be there, that I would not like to purchase all the time. And it was not in any way like just going to a craft store. It was everywhere. Any store. Is there a cart? He's going to put something wild in it. Like, it's going to be ridiculous.
If you heard that noise, that was me slapping my knee, because it was indeed a knee slapper. That was great. Good times, guys. Listen, partners, accompany your partner with their shopping endeavors. Help out. Are you going through an aisle that's on the way to the actual aisle you're trying to get to? Grab a couple things. You know?
I mean, I don't actually suggest you do it unless, unless your partner is going to think that's funny.
Yeah. The key is to not appear distracted. Make sure you're listening to your partner and responding as they're talking to you. But then also, you're scoping the aisle that you're going through. I could grab that quickly. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, acquire, keep talking, drop it in the cart, keep talking, make your left. That's how you got to do it, guys. You know?
Wow.
This is what they tune into.
Amazing tutorial.
This is what they're tuning in for. Shout out to...
That was detailed.
Oh, maybe too much? Did I give away too many good?
It's just amazing to me which details you are concerned about.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. Shout out to Shelly Shell. She found our peer-to-peer.
It's there.
Boom.
It's happening.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
What happened?
Oh, no. Yeah, P-Town said, loved that place. An average crafter can walk in there and feel like they can do anything, believing you could make a Picasso by the end of the day. For real.
Bruh.
You really do just get a good... Oh, wait. How close to Halloween are we in this shopping zone? Is that Rudo?
Rudo, yes.
Yeah, you really could. You could just... You knew you could get the help that you needed. I would often, be able to say, this is what I want to do, but I don't know the tools that I need to make that. And I do very seriously mean this. At Joanne's Fabrics and at Fabric Depot, they would be like, okay, hold on one second. Make sure someone covered their cutting station and then help you. You're going to need this adhesive. Yeah. You're going to need this sewing tape. You're going to need this, and just assemble your kit. Loved it. So once again, private equity ruining the world. But you could take a second and use your own little private equity there.
Ooh, like that.
Head on over to xray.fm. Or if you're, scrolling the gram right as we speak, you can go to News with My Fiancé. Hit that link in the bio. Donate to your heart's desire, honestly.
Knowing that donation will be tripled.
Tripled today. Until we reach 500. So,
I feel like this is an easy. This is a layup. I feel this is a layup.
One could be 3.
You know? I feel like it's a layup, bro.
Now's the time. Also, yes, in fact, we do, want that credit. So throw our names near it when you throw it in the bucket. Ambush, I don't think we told anybody what we were going to cover today.
We haven't.
I'm going to do that if you will get us ready for a music break. Because I
will indeed.
A little parched. Thank you. Fiancés today, we've got a Deschutes County sheriff placed on the Brady list amid allegations of dishonesty.
Oh, what?
And I'll tell you how it lines up perfectly with me just finishing the series For Life. In the backdrop of my life.
Oh my God.
And in national news, 4chan hacked.
Jeez.
We'll talk about the deepest, well, not the deepest, but the underbelly of the internet, not quite the darkest web. We're going to talk about that place that's been radicalizing people for a solid 17 years or so. But moderators' identities and backend tools leaked in a major breach. And let me tell you, no spoiler alert, but a bunch of .gov email addresses showing up. Whoopsies and the doodles. We'll talk about that when we come back from this music break.
Boom.
Give you an opportunity to spend some time donating some dimes.
Boom. Welcome back to News of My Fiancé with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush.
And it's the fun drive. It is right now
Tell him, MJ.
Community radio is important.
Well,
more now than ever.
Why? Why is that?
Well, we could talk about the lamestream media.
Okay. Constantly trying to sell us a hill of beans.
Consistently trying to sell us a hill of beans.
A Sam hill of beans.
No.
All right, guys. It's Sam Hill. Hill.
Just ruined my whole flow. You know?
She said no.
Wow.
That was me putting something in the cart. That's how you do it, guys.
Yeah. But I'm at work right now.
Oh.
You know?
Sorry.
And I was in the middle of a pitch. And now I'm just going to ask people to pay for your mistakes. Can you?
Guess what, guys? Ambush just cost you.
He just cost you big time. Shout out to Michelle for giving already.
Boom.
And I can't see every other thing. So if somebody else has already, I'm going to find out and I'm going to shout you out.
Believe that.
I want to get into this story about Deschutes County because
let's do it.
I think that many fiancés understand, but you might be new listening to this. I am a humongous fan of lawyer procedural shows.
Oh, yeah. I think deep down inside, we all know the greatness that Dick Wolf has provided for us and the impact that his universe, his lawyer procedural universe, the impact it's had on us all. And it leaks into, look, now you got me watching All Rise, and you got me watching this, and you got me watching that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, and?
Yes, and.
Okay.
Because this ain't about the cops. Like, Dick Wolf's every show is about the cops. And it is propaganda at its finest. And I do mean at its finest.
Yeah. If I'm going to get my propaganda, let me get it from
Let me get it from Dick Wolf.
Yeah. I ain't mad.
He knows how to put the plan together,
he does.
as they say.
He does. Call
but
us.
I do think that I think that like legal procedurals are and can be a little bit less propaganda-y.
Mm-hmm.
All of them include propaganda. Every single one of them, including The Wire.
Yeah.
Best television show ever made.
And undisputed.
Shout out to David Simon.
Undisputed.
Yeah, but I do. I like. Is there going to be a courtroom scene? Am I going to hear an opening or a closing argument? I'm probably going to just take a peek at this.
Sign me up.
I'm probably going to see if I like the cast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like the cast of For Life. And by that, at the time it came out, it was very much like, what in the DEI hire is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
What's happening? What's happening there?
Man, this is maybe a better conversation for Monday. I hope you don't actually think that that's the way I felt. No, but it seemed very much the timing of it was maybe just the wrong timing. So I didn't watch it back then, but I started it. It was on the Hulu, and I finished it. 2 seasons. It was canceled quick. And I see why. It's way too woke. So much woke. They're like, the police actually do a lot of bad. Let me show you the pattern of the bad that the police have been doing. Let me show you the pattern of corruption of the police and the prosecutors.
Collars for dollars.
Collars for dollars, baby. Oh, did the police shoot that person and then cover it up? Aaron was going to get to the bottom of it. What was my point of bringing any of that up? Oh, that so many stories that we hear about prosecutions, I'm like, well, what do you mean that you didn't You didn't give the police didn't give the evidence. What do you mean the prosecution didn't tell the defense about the evidence that they had?
Right.
You know, like part of the propaganda and, I don't know, lawyer-ganda that we get, the just criminal, quote, justice system ganda that we get, is that there are these laws and these rules, and every single one of the people involved in that process are there to make sure not only do we all do the rules and the laws right, but certainly in our investigations, we would never do anything weird or hide evidence or...
One would think. They're the law.
And they're upholding it,
Literally.
So they say.
Yeah.
And I've always had a problem with the idea that you must break the law to get someone convicted of breaking the law. That's always been a hitch in my craw, if you will.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. All right.
So, in Bend, a rare and escalating conflict between Deschutes County's top prosecutor and its highest-ranking law enforcement official went public Monday as District Attorney Steve Gunnels announced he has placed Sheriff Kent Vanderkamp on the county's Brady list.
Yikes.
The move means Gunnels considers the sheriff's testimony so unreliable that he cannot be called as a witness in court. I'm going to say it again.
Bruh.
That means he considers the sheriff's testimony so unreliable that he cannot be called as a witness in court. The decision, first reported by OPB, stems from discrepancies identified in at least 2 DUI cases in which Vanderkamp, a former deputy, allegedly provided false or misleading testimony. Quote, it was determined that he had been dishonest in his trial testimony and some of the information he provided, Gunnels told the Oregonian. His office is still reviewing dozens of cases from 2012 to 2018 during Vanderkamp's time as Deschutes County deputy. While the flagged cases have not resulted in convictions so far, Gunnels said the seriousness of findings warranted immediate action. He formally added Vanderkamp to the Brady list last Monday and sent a report to both the sheriff's attorney and the State Department of Public Safety Standards and Training, which is also conducting a separate review of Vanderkamp's law enforcement credentials. Sheriff Vanderkamp, who took office in January after a controversial election, responded with a public statement expressing disappointment but disputing the DA's conclusions. Sorry, I lost my place. Quote, while I respectfully dispute the decision, I understand the seriousness of the situation and its impact on the sheriff's office and the public's trust, he wrote. The sheriff has not indicated plans to resign and said he is consulting with legal counsel and his command staff. Vanderkamp's background has been under scrutiny since his campaign when he sued to block the release of employment records from a former job in La Mesa, California.
Oh.
The records, which were eventually released, detailed serious incidents of misconduct in the 90s. In March, OPB reported that the DPSST had launched an investigation into Vanderkamp's past. The Brady list, rooted in a U.S. Supreme Court decision, requires prosecutors to disclose information that could aid a defendant's case. I'm sorry, that's a Brady violation.
Yeah.
Including evidence and including evidence that a testifying officer has a history of dishonesty. Gunnels' decision to apply this standard to the county's top cop is virtually unprecedented and signals a deep fracture in local law enforcement leadership.
So Vanderkamp is posturing this as a political hit, basically. That
well, isn't it? You know, I mean, oh, sorry.
I mean, there's something to be said about you trying to hide your records of your misconduct in the 90s. But when I immediately saw this, I'm like, okay, you got added to the Brady list. Why are you still employed? Why are you still the sheriff? If the DA can't trust you can't trust your testimony. Why are you still the sheriff?
Like, aren't you in charge of the other officers?
Yeah.
Is this not a top-down situation?
It is. Rank and file answers to you.
Like,
but you can't even testify. You can't even testify, bro.
There's so many problems with
that's a way to put it.
The amount of power that we give the police. And one of them is, and in this moment, we got to be very honest. We got to blame the dick wolves out there for giving us this idea for so many years that cops are just trying to do a great thing, man. They're just working hard. They're just trying to keep the city safe. Just going out there. I do think there's a reason why none of the cop shows are like beat cops. It's they're all specialized detectives that for some special unit that either doesn't even exist or
no, you're really cooking. You're really cooking right now.
None of them are like, this is what it's like when you're on patrol.
You're cooking so much, it put me in an embarrassing situation.
Oh.
I was on Facebook addressing an incident that happened in Philadelphia with the cops where they ended up unaliving someone. And I was like, why did this go this way? Where is the negotiator? Where is this person? Where's this person? And one of my Facebook friends, who is a cop, was like, what are you talking about?
You think this is a Scorsese film?
Right. He's like, what are you talking about?
So what, you telling me your department don't have a negotiator?
Yeah. Where's your Samuel L. Jackson? Where's your negotiator?
Right. No, they ain't got that.
No, they really be selling these units like this is how it works.
This is how it works, and I'm sure that's gives, I don't know, the unions, the police unions, or the brethren over there some ideas about, maybe we do need another CERT team, or maybe we do need another gun task force.
Yeah.
We need some money for that.
Where is the sex crimes unit? Where is it? Where's the special victims unit?
Let me tell you this. They exist, and then they don't be doing it.
Oh, okay.
Ask them where all of their R kits are.
Right.
How many of those have you tested?
Jeez.
Or are they just sitting there hanging out because you're still wondering what she was wearing that night?
Bruh. Shout out to
That's the disappointment of SVU. Like, they really didn't ever get to the heart of it. They were such a part of the problem for so long of perpetuating all of those things as the people.
What did they get to the heart of? Exactly. How would you have liked to see them get to the,
Like maybe there's not ever a moment where Olivia Benson or Finn Tutuola say things like, man, that was a short skirt. Or Olivia being like, she was a drunk. Do you remember how she would talk about her mom?
So that was definitely...
I'm sorry, I don't know how we got back here.
No, you're right. But that was definitely like early Law and Order.
Yeah.
I feel like...
I'm just saying that helped radicalize a lot of people.
It did. And I feel like later
they've been doing their best to make a shift.
They swung it around.
Yeah.
Where all of that comes out of one person's mouth, and it's Benson. Benson is always...
Benson is doing her level best to be the most compassionate and understanding, and but they do a great job of portraying a well-meaning white woman who wants very badly to not be an oppressor, but is absolutely one.
She gets triggered easily. The second anyone remotely their behavior reminds her of her sister, then it's their fault.
You didn't mean...
I didn't mean Benson. I meant, what's her name?
Mm-hmm. She's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to teach, right? And then she came back?
Yeah. Carisi's lady.
Yeah. Damn. That's who I meant. Yeah.
What is her name? Rollins.
Yeah. That's who I meant. Rollins.
Sorry, y'all.
Yes.
This is not...
They rolled all downhill to Rollins, and Rollins is the problem. Because now, Tutuola is correcting Rollins. And it's like, whoa. I seen you. I seen what you used to say, sir.
They're trying. It's just what I was getting at is that they were more accurate in the beginning of portraying cops and how they actually handle those situations where like, yeah, I know my job is to get the bad guy, but I also know that not all guys are bad.
Yeah.
You know,
not all
like,
men.
Like
girls are asking.
Some of these 8-year-olds, boy, walking to the bus looking a little what?
Slow down, sir.
Well, you know, she's a working girl.
And?
Yeah.
And?
In the title, at work. And then she got killed at work.
Yeah.
Remember? And your work is to solve that.
Hello.
Not to do the judgment or the make fun of or the whatever. Or the dismissal of... Anyway, why are we talking about this?
We're talking about this because...
Oh, because the police be lying. So...
yeah. Vanderkamp.
Cops be lying. Prosecutors be lying. I think I've said this before that shout out to Ella, my
legal friend.
My
legal fam. Yeah,
just my little litigator personal, I can ask her anything and she'll be like, I do know a thing about that, or I don't, I'll get back to you. And then she does get back to me.
You love Ella.
Yeah, very much. Anyway, I've asked her multiple times, like, I don't understand this. If you are the prosecutor and you believe you have enough evidence to bring a case against someone, and then you hide evidence, or you, like, allow a cop that is a known liar to get, what are you doing?
Right.
If you care about, like, the truth and justice or whatever it is that they say that they're caring about. And she was like, you mistake people having jobs for caring about the thing they do.
Which was wild to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, whoa. Ella, I know they care. Dick Wolf shows me that they care.
Do you know how much Alexander Cabot cares?
Alex broke the law.
She cares so much, she had to go into witness protection. Because she was going to do the right
thing. Yo, Alex stay on the wrong side of the law, B.
But for the right reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that hit me. And I do have to, even though I do understand it, or at least I think I do, I have to consistently remind myself, no, Morgan, just because... For you going to school for a really long time to become a thing, and then you become the thing that you wanted to be, and then you get the job that you wanted to have, that doesn't actually, for you, you must want to do that. It must mean something to you. It must.
Right.
But no, it's just a employment track. It's just and she very much was like, it's mostly, a lot of prosecutors become prosecutors just for a political stepping stone. That's it.
Which
they
is
are
wild
not
to hear.
In any way they're caring about crime. Like, that is not their... And that, again...
Yeah.
Breaks my brain.
Yeah, but then you see it.
And then you see it.
Yeah. Yep. Again, shout out to Michelle for donating. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Shout out to P-Town for donating. Boom, boom.
Good morning, AJ. AJ said, not y'all using Law and Order as a moral gauge. We are not. I will not. Hold on.
AJ,
chill. That is not what's happening.
We got another donation. Anonymous. Thank you so much.
Yes.
They said, just a suburban gal loving this show.
Hey.
Originally from a Philly suburb, Jersey side.
Wow.
East Coast Tings. Yes.
I should never be shocked by the amount of people that are here from Philly, greater Philly area, or Jersey. Like, y'all are really on the takeover.
Anonymous friend, text in 971-220-5979. How you like it out here? How long you been out here? I love it. Ask me if I'm moving back east. I'm not. No.
Not doing it.
Could I use a soft pretzel and water ice right now? Yes. For breakfast. I could. But hey.
Never gonna get it.
Them's the breaks.
Not here.
Not gonna get
unfortunately.
it. Never gonna get it. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, I say let's get a quick music break. AJ, I feel like I have to find a way to defend myself against this. I've been misunderstood.
AJ is wild for that, yo.
Never a moral gauge. Like I am.
She's speechless.
I'm speechless. I'm stymied.
Oh my gosh!
I thought analogies were the way to get people to understand things. Now all of a sudden, I'm looking to be a cop. No.
We'll be back after this music break, y'all. Man, and we are back. Welcome back to News My Fiancé with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. Shoot us a text message, join the conversation at 971-220-5979. Again, that is 971-220-5979. We are in the fun drive. This is the final week, babes?
Yeah, fun drive.
While we have goals for our show, we also have a daily goal, I believe, of $2,500 we need to hit.
Well, today's got a $2,500 match.
Okay.
So we told you about the special match for this morning.
Right.
Up to, well, we're calling it.
Yeah.
We're claiming it that.
Yeah.
But up to $500, we'll have a triple match,
which is amazing.
Which is incredible. But this is a separate match, right? That's outside of that up to $500.
Correct.
Every dollar raised to $2,500 will be matched by a group of incredibly generous donors.
Nice.
So these are the ways that you give your money and someone else makes it make a little bit more, and the otherwise known as a great time to give.
Right. And says here, everyone that gives until the end of the drive can opt into a chance to win a ticket package, which includes a pair of tickets to see of Montreal on June 17th at the Wonder Ballroom, Stereolab on October 19th at the Crystal Ballroom, and the Beta Band on Wednesday, October 19th, and a Movie Madness Maniac membership. Hello.
What?
Yes. Says everyone that gives from now until midnight on Friday, April 18th, can opt into a chance for a Movie Madness and Hollywood Theater membership package. I do want to get a membership to Hollywood Theater. That includes rent one, get one free, movie rentals, free popcorn, discounted admission to regular film programming, exclusive pre-sale access to special events like the all-night horror movie marathon and 70mm film screenings, and free admission to monthly member screenings. All-night horror movie marathon. Roots, you been to one of these? Let me know. Is this a thing? Are we too old to try to pull it off?
You ain't doing no all-night movie fair.
You don't know that.
Oh, I do.
Me and Rudo could do it.
Ambush.
What?
Let me tell you how quickly you fall asleep and then how loudly you snore. Like, you are not doing that.
I gotta just go to sleep during the day leading up to it.
Yeah.
I gotta prep. You know? Hey, if I can stay up all night and work on grants and emails, I could stay up all night and watch some horror movies.
Yeah, and you don't do that either, is my point. You fall asleep while you're doing it, in the middle of it, and then you wake up and then you just keep trying to type. That's not actually doing the thing you think you're doing. Are
you trying to tell me that Cory Booker got one up on me? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't even understand.
Is that what this is?
How that could be what you got.
Because now I feel challenged. You know?
No, don't. I
got to out-Booker that guy. But yes, these are the things that are at stake. You donate. These are the things you opt in. This is great. And there's so many different membership levels. You can come in at $10 a month as a monthly subscriber, $15, $20. And with the different levels, you get different prizes. $10 a month, you get the thank you pack. $15 a month, you get a t-shirt. And $20 or more, bumper sticker and the tee. Well, hello.
You know?
Bam.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great time to do it. Hit xray.fm. Hit the donate button.
Boom, boom.
Hit our peer-to-peer.
Boom, boom.
It's in the link in our bio at News with My Fiancé on the Instagrams.
It is.
Okay, so P-Town said, dang, what did I miss while using my brain in executive function mode? Cops, moral compass. I need coffee. I feel like I got to clear my name.
You do.
Shout out to AJ, and I do love accountability. Because here I am using Law and Order or any of these other things as a point to, or as a tool to point out the copaganda and the law-aganda. And then sometimes we get a little too into it and it's like, oh, but then Alexander Cabot, she did a good once. I want to be clear. I am not basing any of my things on any of that, but more than anything, when talking about any TV show, I am being very reductive. Like I just want to be clear. Because AJ said the attorney is a mid-moral gauge. She was like, the law is dumb on repeat, and that's how she ended up in witness protection. And that is absolutely true.
Real facts.
That's exactly what happened. We watched her learn in, quote, real time that justice wasn't a thing that she was providing. and that the job she was doing was not actually saving any of the women and the kids that they said that they were working to save. And so, yeah, then it was the law is dumb and I'm going to break it because I'm not doing. If I do the law, that man gets to still get a gun and gets to come back and kill this woman, Right. So, yes, very mid-moral gauge, but was not using her as a moral gauge to be clear.
I do remember that one situation where, Olivia, her and Olivia got in a heated argument, and it was like, Olivia, you can't give up, I think it was a woman who had been abused, their location or whatever, and that person ended up, they got hit. And it was like, Olivia, listen. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And she's like, I gotta follow the law. And Alex is like, and look what you did.
And look what happened.
Look what you did. Congratulations.
You played yourself.
You feel good about that?
Actually harmed a victim.
Yeah. You feel good about that? The law you following? Yeah. Good stuff.
I would feel better about that show, if those lessons that they learned in those ways then went and were carried forward, and that you didn't have to worry about them potentially following the law the next time when it would really harm someone.
Right.
Anyway, all of that talk was just to say that there are, big, huge misconceptions about what the job of justice is in all of those different roles, and how many people think that their role is to lock them up.
Right.
And the them isn't really specific to, the person that probably did it. It's not always, I don't always need to find the right person.
Right.
But I do need to find a person, because I like to get the cases in my house closed. And I want to see all of those numbers on the board going from, whatever to zero, or, the goals are completely different. And it is something I just have to be reminded of all the time, that you could do all of this work to be in that kind of position, all to treat it like it isn't the job that you worked that hard for.
Right.
And the same is true for elected positions. You go on a full, pay to interview. That's what campaigns are. You are paying to interview.
Yeah.
You do all of that and you don't care about the job? You don't care about the people that you just went and put a show on for?
Literally.
Giving your best self to that? You know what I'm saying? You did all of that and it was it was this or Wendy's?
Bruh. It
could have gone either way. I don't care. The outcome's the same. I'm not tripping. I just, that's something that I cannot actually wrap my mind around. And I don't know maybe I'm just lazy. But I ain't doing all that. Get someone else to do it. If it's not what I'm not doing. I don't want to be a prosecutor, so I'm not going to do the work to become one.
Right.
And be like, well, I needed a job. What?
Well, I needed a way to make it to the next level. You know.
Now, I do understand people, the folks that just want power. And let me be more clear. I understand that there are people that just want power.
Right. You understand those people exist.
I understand they exist. I understand they get themselves in positions of power. Even if the power ain't that great. Mm-hmm. I still struggle with that being someone's sole motivation. Like truly wrapping my mind around that being someone's sole motivation. I am happy to hear that in Deschutes County, in Bend, we could use a lot of this in Multnomah County. I don't know where Nuthin is right now, but take notes, The police be lying a lot.
A lot. So much so they need cameras.
They lie about it all. And because of various factors, they still get the benefit of the doubt. Their word is still something that we are supposed to believe off top. And then get proved wrong if that wasn't the case. And even then, you can show, as we can, a pattern. A systemic culture.
Yeah.
Almost a part of the job description. Take the almost out of that. We know it. But then when it's time for a police officer to come to court, they are up there smug. They are up there like, who's gonna believe yous?
Right.
It's me and you, who they gonna believe? It's definitely not you. I mean, that is the posturing.
Yeah.
It's also their belief.
Yep.
And in the moments that they are either exposed or, maybe there is in fact a whistleblower or just undeniable proof that they're lying. Penalty is what? Nothing. Penalty is maybe paid administrative leave for a bit.
Yeah. And they get to resign as opposed to being fired.
If they are forced off the force.
Right. Yep.
But you know that this is the kind of thing that is actual news. For a prosecutor to say, this one lies so hard, I can't even call him on the stand. I want nothing. You can't come anywhere near my cases.
That's wild. You can ruin my cases.
That's the kind of thing that may have, been quietly happening for a long time with a lot of different cops in a lot of different jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. I just feel like the lion had to be big, bad, and wild if you go into the press and being like, hey, man, that guy's on the list. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
We can't let that guy talk about anything on a stand. That's wild.
Bruh. Super wild. Super wild. What happened is 4chan?
Yes, please.
Okay. The controversial online message board 4chan has been hacked, leading to a major data breach that has exposed the site's backend systems, moderator tools, and the identities of its moderators and janitors. The attack has intermittently knocked the site offline and unleashed a flood of internal screenshots, now spreading rapidly across the internet. According to reports and statements from one alleged janitor who spoke with TechCrunch via an anonymous email, the breach is real and could pose an existential threat to the site's future. The hacker reportedly accessed 4chan's hosting server and posted images of the PHP MyAdmin backend interface. While some moderators had used precautions to protect their identities, others reportedly used personal or institutional email addresses, including ones ending in edu and even .gov. The leak's implications stretch beyond typical cybersecurity concerns. 4chan has long been a breeding ground for internet extremism, conspiracy theories, and hate-fueled subcultures. The release of Moderator and Gender Identities could expose individuals who played a role in managing or failing to control the darker corners of the platform, potentially placing them at risk or under public scrutiny. Some users online have reacted with Schadenfreude. What?
Schadenfreude.
Okay. Viewing the breach as long overdue comeuppance for a site notorious for its role in promoting harassment campaigns and radical ideologies. Others warn the leak could serve as a gateway to more targeted attacks, especially if hackers attempt to seize administrative control of the platform. The breach also adds fuel to ongoing debates around platform moderation, anonymity, and accountability. As social media platforms face increasing pressure to combat extremism and misinformation, the 4chan hack may serve as a high-profile case study in what happens when internal structures and privacy protections fail. Whether this marks a turning point in 4chan's turbulent history or merely another chaotic chapter remains uncertain. For now, the site and its administrators are left grappling with the fallout, and the rest of the internet is watching closely. I have spent a great deal of my time staying away from 4chan.
Yeah.
I don't want none of them chans, bro. 4chan, 8chan, is there like another one that's like...
4 and 8 are the ones that really... what I would call the breeding ground for every incel. You know, the 4chan walked, or I don't remember which one came first.
I don't know none of that stuff.
One of them walked so the other one could run so that we could all have Andrew Tate today on Twitter.
Right. 4chan, 8chan, Silk Road, Dark Web. I'm cool on all that stuff.
Okay, first of all, let's not lump that in.
What?
Okay?
All right.
You know?
You a fan?
Of what?
The Dark Web?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Never been.
Fair response.
Yeah.
Fair response. All right.
P-Town said, this is going back to the other one real quick, but my question is, why is there a Brady list? All their names should be on it. They're all trash.
Factions.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that point of how ridiculous it is that you have to have that list, that you even have to have the law of a Brady violation, because there were so many, cases in which the defendants don't get the evidence that's exculpatory from the prosecution.
Super wild.
So back to 4chan. 4chan is honestly one of the easily pinpointable radicalization sites for white Western men.
Yeah.
Boys and men. It has been the headquarters to misogyny for a very long time. A lot of the, no, it's not racist, it's dark humor, comes from.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not misogynist, it's dark humor.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
But the bees be tripping, and the females. And that's that area.
Woke mind virus.
Oh, yeah.
It's where they cooked it up. Yeah.
That is where they cooked it up. My word. I mean, it's a forum, a chat that is at a point was like, let's see how racist we could be or how violent we can speak about people.
Yeah.
How, hey man, I'm just edgy. I'm just pushing the envelope. I'm not PC. And people think that you can do that for 16 hours a day.
Yeah. And
then leave that basement or attic or whatever.
Or Andrew Schultz's podcast.
Oh, hey. That you could leave that, go to work and be a normal person.
Right.
And operate in society that you spend 16 hours a day saying, is the worst ever because of the women, because of the different colors and the different whatever.
Right.
You think you can go be a cashier and be normal to all of the people that you not just work with, but the people that you come in contact with, customers? They're not. You think you can do that for 16 hours and then go to a school setting?
Nah. No.
Where all of the people that you have spent, those 16 hours talking terribly about look like they're having their best life that day? Breeding ground. This is school shooter training.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Support group. Show you where to buy a gun in your town. Help you build a ghost gun.
Right. And
actually, I got a 3D printer over here. Do you even need to go to the store, bud?
And for this breach to show that there are people operating in 4chan with .gov extensions on their emails is wild. The .edu is something, but those .govs, madness, wild for the night.
I mean, it's in the moments where there is a white supremacist shooter, mass shooter, or, some act of domestic terrorism happens and the FBI is like, yep, so-and-so was on our radar.
Cool.
We've been watching him. I guess we took a break for the day when he got all the guns, and we took another break.
Right.
The day he wrote his manifesto and posted it online in the same chat room I'm in.
Right.
I took a break, I guess. But no, y'all, they've been in there. They know the dangers that these people pose.
Yep.
They know where they live. They know the things. They know the access they have to stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And they would, for various reasons, rather we pay attention to someone stealing a basketball or a pair of shoes, or, than the fact that you have been keeping your eye on a person from the age 15 to 20.
Right.
Because of the so many disturbing things they've done and said in the chat rooms you're in. But no action. No action on the things that need to be acted upon.
And to be clear, we're not saying run out and arrest people. We're not saying, action in the way of just lock them up. We're saying you're sitting here and you're noticing a trend. You're noticing the way some of these teenagers and young adults and children are engaging in these conversations. You're seeing the different things that are having an impression on them. What is the social response? What is the social responsibility to combat that?
Right.
Like, you can't sit here and say, we've been watching this kid and they've just been cooking it and turning it into okay, what are the steps that are being taken in that person's community? What are the resources that are being put in place to combat that? Or are you just sitting there watching like it's a TV show?
Yep.
Watching these kids become radicalized and indoctrinated in extremely harmful behavior. Like, what are we doing?
And we know that extremely harmful behavior, we know who it actually harms.
Right.
And more than anything in this, take away from this how white men protect white men. In ways that you don't see, in ways that you don't get to, even fathom until you have a reason to.
Yeah.
Because if your job is, I'm the one that catches the predators and the so-and-sos or the terrorists or the whatever, and what you passively watch that happen because it's a young white person.
Right.
You would not in any way, shape, form, or fashion, put the pause button.
No.
And if we were talking about a black or brown terrorist,
ain't no pause button.
Ain't no pause button.
Out of here. They're not getting taken to Burger King to grab some food on the way.
Certainly not.
Yeah, not at all. Earlier, we got a text from Winner, and this is why they're the winner. How many cops does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh, boy.
1, to beat the room for being black. And 1, to arrest the bulb for being broke.
Yikes.
You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 91.1 and 107.1 FM, and in Nehalem, Wheeler, Manzanita, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM, streaming online everywhere at xray.fm. That was a Don DeMarco.
Indeed.
Yikes.
Indeed.
Woof.
I feel like this is a good text to end on.
Yeah.
And that is from one P-Town. These folks will not get any of the jerk dodo. They can have regular cow. Cow butt for cops.
I thought you saw the other one.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Low key sounds like a grooming site for cops.
Oh! Because it is!
Especially if they're watching them for that long and doing nothing to interrupt that individual's daily life.
Thank you for putting it that way.
Sheesh.
Thank you for that perspective. Because here I am, like, look at them protecting them, making sure that they don't, get in the trubbies. But boy, oh boy, if they aren't just getting them ready to join the force.
Under which they have all the protections of the law. Thank you for joining us for another News of My Fiancé. The show is brought to you by Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush, and our podcast editor, Kyle G. of Residual Audio. Thank you, Fiancés, for all your texts and engagements with us during the show.
Big time.
Also, thank you for everyone that has donated. Man, the music's been updated. All these details will be in the description of the episode because Kyle does his ting-ting. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything
Don't
else
forget to hit that donate button.
Boom.
Go to xray.fm.
Boom.
Go to our peer-to-peer. If you're on Instagram, just hit that link in the bio.
Boom.
If you send your donation by mail or carrier pigeon, just write News with My Fiancé on there somewhere.
I'm a fiancé.
So, when they get it, they know who to attribute it to.
Bam.
So that we can win.
Hey.
Because we're the real winners around here. News with My Fiancé.
Because you guys are the real winners.
That's exactly where I was going.
Boom.
Look at us. Puzzle pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Because y'all are the real winners. and we are of like minds that we all want to beat stapled sounds.
I didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to say like capitalism
Fascism.
or some system. Yeah. Nice.
Fascism, stapled sounds, all in the same.
It's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't let the individual distract you from the systems like staple sounds. Poverty is a policy choice like staple sounds. People over profits and, staple sounds. Power to the people over staple sounds. And none of us are free until we're all free from
stapled sounds.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for Tom Hartman. We will catch you guys Monday night on the YouTubes at 6:30 p.m.
Bye.